Lord Jesus Christ. Lord Jesus, that was low. Raw and Uncut telling you what's up. You're lifting with the Husky Boy bar benders, bending some bars. Y'all know what it is. So it's a Wednesday. What are we doing today, Bruce?
Today we did, what did we do? 6 sets, or no, we did 4 sets. I don't remember how many sets.
We did some sets.
We did some sets of
6 assisted.
6 assisted lifts. We took our 3 rep, tried to get it for ourselves as many times as we can, and then kept going until we got to 6. Then after that we did back squat.
Yeah.
We did 5s on back squat.
5s.
Pyramid style.
Yep. And then so for the 6 assisted, you got to remember, so basically you want to do a weight that you can do for like 3 or 4 reps before it gets hard. And the whole point of your spotter is you want them to make sure that you're always keeping the same
keeping a consistent speed. You want to get used to it's overload training.
Yep. Y'all know what that is, because a lot of y'all mofos just be throwing down heavyweight and like, yeah, I can do it, and can't do 1 rep, and people be curling your junk. Anyway, you know, let's talk about people that don't want to work hard. All right, because y'all be pissing us off, honestly.
I'm
like, tired of seeing people saying, yo, take this. This will get your junk off faster. Yo, should I buy squat shoes when I'm only squatting 135? Yo, should I get a deadlift belt when I can't even do the bar? I don't understand why y'all don't learn. You got to learn the basics first. You got to get good at something before you start getting equipment, unless you have medical issues. Now, if every time you try to bench, your wrist breaks, then maybe you need straps or gloves or something like that. But if you're benching 405 without grabbing the bar, then why would you put straps on? I don't. Bruce, explain the craziness to me. Explain.
All right. So what I agree with Thomas completely. What I'm thinking is that literally, these days people have taken these programs people are throwing out, these techniques people are throwing out. People are taking them way too far. People are replacing just working hard in the gym with, if I do these accessories with light weight,
it's gonna make me better.
And an RPE of like 3, then I'm gonna get really strong. No, there's no replacement. What do you think people did back in the day? You think you cannot honestly tell me that in the how long has powerlifting been around? Probably for some 100 years, maybe less. I'm completely making up a number, but it's been around for a long time. And you cannot tell me that when powerlifting was first around, people were like, "Oh, I'm gonna work an RPE of 7 this time."
No.
And then no. Guess how they got strong?
People
they got
didn't
strong by working hard and lifting hard. That's how you do anything.
Going into the gym every day like a job and doing your lifts.
Like,
yo, honestly, the best thing to do to make sure that you do your stuff, you gotta plan your stuff before you go into the gym. Like, I see a lot of people that'll just go into the gym and just decide to do something. I've done that before. Like, it's so much harder when you don't have a consistent plan to stick with. It's harder to see your gains. It's harder to make sure you're getting strong. You know, all that. It's just it's hard. It's almost impossible to do on your own. So you gotta make sure that 1, you're getting in the gym, 2, that you got a plan, and 3, that you're just using good form and listening to your body.
Listen to your body.
If your body says, no, nigga, you can't get this rep, you shouldn't be doing the rep.
You shouldn't be doing it.
If your body is saying, oh, this shit's easy, then you should be going up in weight. You shouldn't be, if you can do 135 215 times each set, then you should not be doing 135. You should be going up to the 2s, maybe 3s.
This is straight back to the whole people just don't want to work hard thing. Your program, so let's say your program says, okay, I'm going to use my dumb voice for this one because this is stupid. Because let's say your program says, okay, take your 50% of your 1 rep max.
Oh, God, I hate the percentages. I hate percentages.
Do it for 5 reps for 5 sets. Let's say you literally eat that like an Almond Joy.
Why would you stay there?
Why would you keep doing that? Just because your program says some shit. But I don't understand. I don't understand I swear people just do not want to work hard.
And then what you gotta do is you gotta think about this too. Like because I do this on bench because I'm just like I'm hard headed. But you gotta think about it this way. If you do an exercise and you can't get all your reps, you need to stay at the same weight because you need to be able to track your progress. If you go up, even if you're not going up per set, but say you go up the next week. That's not helping you at all because you're still gonna be staying at the same place. You gotta make sure that you can get all your reps in your sets before you can move on.
You need a basis of a solid basis of comparison. You can't just be like 1 week get 235 for 5, and the next week not get it for 5, and then the next week you might get it for 4, and the next week you might get it for 3, and next week you might get it for 6. That's not a good basis. I want to be able to say, oh, I'm stronger because last time I had 235 for 5. Now I can do 245 for 5, or I can do like 255 for 4 and almost get it for 5. I want a definite measure of strength.
Exactly, because people gonna ask you. People gonna be like, "Hey, how much you bench? Hey, how much you squat?" And you don't want to be like, "Well, last week I did 3. This week I'm doing 5. Next week I'm doing 8." Like you don't want to be skipping around. You want to have a definite. You can be like, maybe your max didn't go up, but you can be like, well, I'm squatting so and so 5 times, now, and that's 20 pounds higher than it was last month. That's still impressive. That's still gaining strength. So you gotta know that so that you can be able to tell people what your stats are. So that also you know yourself what your stats are, and also you need to be listening to your body because you don't want to hurt yourself. If you're feeling sick or maybe something doesn't quite feel right,
or you hurt your groin in the gym like I did recently.
Yes, or you hurt your groin. Like you gotta listen to your body and be like, okay, maybe I shouldn't go for a 1 rep max today. Okay, maybe I shouldn't go for 98% of my weight today. You gotta know when to either back it off or do or at least be
moderate. Do it within moderacy. You can work hard. You can work hard while injured. By doing something in moderacy,
you can do lighter weight and still help. Because even if say you do something that completely keeps you from lifting like you should, you can do accessory workouts so that when you go back to lifting
hard,
you'll have
like you're supposed to.
Something will be better. Either your form's gonna be better, your mobility is gonna be better, your joint strength's gonna be better, something like that, which will allow you to be able to increase weight faster and get back on your horse faster. So all of this transfers over into your powerlifting world, into making sure that you can do everything that you need to do.
Definitely.
And you don't need all this like expensive crap.
You don't know
that people buy. You don't need pre-workout. You don't need protein. This is for powerlifting. You don't need protein. You do not need that all the time. That's for bodybuilders. A powerlifter does not need protein all the time. You don't need
protein shakes like whey powder and stuff like that.
Not like just going out and like eating a pig or something.
Go ahead and eat.
But you don't need a special type of bar. You don't need squats. You don't need none of that until it is a necessity. You need a deadlift you need a belt for deadlift when you start getting into the 4s and 5s. Or I even use it in the 3s because you don't want to snap your back. You don't need squat shoes until you're hitting the 4s. And you want to make sure that your form doesn't break. You don't need wraps. I don't think you need wraps if you use proper bench form. I think a lot of people, what they do is they let the bar roll over onto like the pads right under the fingers. And I think it just puts so much pressure on their wrist. They're like, oh, I need cuff. You're supposed to keep the bar right on top of the pads, like near your your thumb.
The meaty part near your thumb.
Exactly, and it keeps it in line with your arm, and it keeps your joints from hurting. But if you're benching like 360, 370, then I would understand if you have problems.
Yeah. If you're freaking, what's that dude's name? What's that big potato looking dude?
I don't know, Mr. Potato Head.
Scott Mendelson.
Lord,
if you are Scott Mendelson, and you're deadlifting 1,000 pounds, and you have wrist straps. What are they called? Wrist straps or whatever?
Wrist wraps.
Wrist wraps on?
Yeah, wrist wraps.
I'm not saying anything to you.
No, exactly.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Anything,
to you.
honestly, on bench, if you're over 350 and have wrist wraps on, then we understand. But we're saying if you're in the 220s, 315s and things like that, you should, if you're doing your program right, or if you have a good program, you should adapt the strength in order to hold the bar.
Yeah.
I know when I was trying 315, the first time I ever tried 315, it felt like the heaviest thing in the world. And even though I still haven't been able to get 315 because of my program, because of my training, I hate the word program, because of my cycle, I've slowly gained the strength to be able to at least hold the weight, to stabilizers to hold the weight up without it feeling like it's gonna crush my arms.
Your central nervous system can definitely, it adapts to things. That's what powerlifting is. That's why some of you are powerlifting and your weights are going up, but you're not getting any bigger. Because powerlifting is about, it's gaining muscle, but it's also about adapting your central nervous system to these heavy weights. Because imagine, think about if you deadlift 500 pounds. Imagine the first time you tried 400 pounds. That probably felt like a truckload.
Exactly. It's like people that, there's always that one person in the gym that likes to do high repetitions, lower weights, but they're doing like deadlift, for instance. Say they're deadlifting like 315, but they're doing it for like 15 reps. You go over, you're like, well, what's your max? And they're like, oh, I don't max out. Let them max out one time. Probably the rest of their week will be messed up because they just don't have, they may have the strength, but their body cannot handle the stress and strain of actually picking up the weight regularly. So you have to get everything adapted, everything right in order to make sure that your lifts are going well and to make sure that your strength is gaining and all that extra booty bull, I can't say the S word, stuff.
Yeah. Make sure you're working hard. All of this goes back.
Don't be skipping your workout. Don't take a week off after your lifts, Nick, right? Don't be doing that, all right? It's not good for you. It messes up everything. You got to, soon as your meet's over, you got to go right back at it. It's a job, baby. You just went to a conference. You got to go right back to work on Monday.
Right back at it. You got to work hard. That's how you gain strength. That's how you become a Husky boy. That's how the honorable Husky boys became honorable Husky boys.
Exactly. They go to the gym every day, sick, hurt, no matter what, they always go to the gym. All right, YouTube, that's all we got to say. Comment, like, and subscribe. Peace out.
Deuces.